I want to talk about the 5 Hoya that I am most excited for in 2023. 2023 is here, and I wanted to take a moment to do a quick little video showcasing 5 Hoya that I'm excited to watch grow in 2023. And I have the hopes that at the end of the year, I will show you all these Hoya and they will be big, lush, beautiful plants. Or some of them might die, who knows. Starting first is a Hoya that I recently acquired. It has now put out 3 new leaves in my care, but it is the Hoya archboldiana outer variegated. We mentioned this specific plant in my podcast with my 2 friends, Lydia and Jesse, called Let's Talk Hoya. Maybe you're not into podcasts, but give it a try and see if you like it. But we talked about this specific Hoya on a podcast episode, and one of the listeners tagged me on Facebook because someone was selling a cutting, and I swooped in and snagged it, and I am not sad about it. This one is such a gorgeous Hoya. I haven't had it too long. The variegation is beautiful. I love it. The leaves, it's the variegation that's almost like textured on the leaves. But these new leaves come out so bright red. It's like giving Christmas vibes all over this plant. I have had 1 leaf develop in my care, and now these 2 brand new leaves are coming out. This first leaf didn't have a lot of variegation. You can kind of see it on the edges, very slight. But these 2 new leaves, I can really see that variegation on the edges, and I'm really excited about that. Next up is a wish list Hoya that I recently acquired from Unsolicited Plant Talks. It is a Hoya clemensiorum. Now, I know that this one has been around for a while, but recently in my head, I was like, I think I can handle it. I really, truly think I can handle it. I have had some trouble with Hoya that were very woody. And in my mind, I thought, okay, well, woody Hoya aren't for me, and clemensiorum is definitely a woody stemmed Hoya. However, I think some of that could be chalked up to flat mites that we all dealt with. So I'm giving it another go, and I'm trying first with this Hoya clemensiorum because it is an absolute stunner. I love this Hoya. The leaves, the foliage, the veins, the textures, all of it. Like, this is such a gorgeous Hoya, and I am really excited to grow this out into a big plant. I hope that we'll get there. It's currently in cocoa husk because that's what it came in. I do like to convert my Hoya to pon. However, this this is what it looks like with the roots. So if you guys know how difficult it is to get Hoya roots off of sphagnum moss, I feel like it's very similar to cocoa husk. So we got a new growth point here. You can see it shooting up there. And once that grows some leaves and hardens off, I'm going to snip that, and I'm going to root that in pon and start my pon plant. And then probably just keep taking care of this little babe in a choir for the time being. The next Hoya is a Hoya that isn't rare or hard to find, but this particular species, this particular plant has a very unique mutation that I am really excited to see what happens in 2020.
What?
No, we're not going back there. 2023. I'm excited to see what happens in 2023. This is a Hoya carnosa compacta, and it's just the regular green form, but what mutation is on this specific Hoya is it shows a little bit of splash right at the petiole on every single leaf. That is the only specks of splash on this Hoya, and it continues through the whole vine. This came from a mother plant from a friend in California, and she brought out this big basket of Hoya carnosa compacta, and it had these long trailing vines that were just full and lush, but one vine, this vine, the entire way down, and it was probably 1.5 to 2 feet long, every single leaf had an abundance of splash right at the petiole, and it continued out, that mutation. So she gave me a cutting of that. It's not a top cutting, so I'm really hoping that mutation will continue with whatever vine this puts off, or some kind of mutation. I was really happy to get my hands on such a beautiful specimen like that. Next up is a gorgeous, gorgeous girl that, she's rooting so well, but she's got some ways to go. I don't see a lot of new growth. But this is the Hoya coriacea silver. And she is a stunner. I am so excited to see what this plant turns into this next year. I have it rooted now, so it's ready to go into its more forever home. The splash on this specific specimen is just so beautiful. Both of these leaves almost have a half moon splash. There is like a half silver vibe on one side of the leaf, and the other side of the leaf is very splashy, but you can still see some green. Anyway, it's rooted really well, so we got to transfer her out of the prop box and into Gen Pop behind me and see what happens. But I'm very excited to revisit this one at the end of the year and at the end of 2023 and see the progress. And finally, the end. The last Hoya that I'm excited to watch grow in 2023 is this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous cutting that has finally rooted of a Hoya meredithii species Aceh. What? There's a lot of species Aceh hitting the market, and I'm so excited about that because I have one that my friend Lydia from the Green Plant gave me, and I was a little indifferent about it because it didn't really grow, and then I treated it for flat mites and it started growing, and now I'm really excited about it, which, you know, sorry that I'm not excited if things aren't growing. I recently did a time lapse over on my Instagram of that plant. Patches. So I recently did a time lapse of that Hoya species Aceh growing a new leaf over on my Instagram, and it was really fun to watch. It took about 20 days for the leaf to grow full size and harden off. Well, it hasn't fully hardened off, but it grew full size in 20 days. And it's really fun to be able to watch that, put that together and watch it happen over the span of a minute. But I really love that Hoya now. I love the shape of the leaves, I love the veins. It's very prehistoric. And I recently got another cutting of a species Aceh from April at Unsolicited Plant Talks. That's in my prop box rooting now. And then a local friend gave me this cutting of meredithii species Aceh. And the meredithii is a gorgeous, gorgeous Hoya. I don't have one, but I swoon over them all the time. So when I saw this beautiful, veiny, splashy meredithii and found out that it was species Aceh, I was really excited. So it's rooted really well. We have a growth point happening. So this one's also ready to transition from the prop box to Gen Pop. But I'm really excited to revisit this on video in a year and see where we end up. And truth be told, I'm really excited about all the other species Aceh hitting the market. All of the Hoya that's being found in Indonesia. All of these things are just so exciting. So 2023 is gonna be a big Hoya year. 2022 was a big Hoya year. I mean, all years are big Hoya years. And as for me personally, I'm really excited for the new things to come in 2023. As you guys, if you've watched my channel before, have seen, I have gotten a lot of Hoya from my friend Lydia, who owns the Green Plant AZ. And she asked me to be part of the business. So now we are co-owners of the Green Plant, where we are propping lots of Hoya. We're selling lots of Hoya. So make sure you follow the Instagram at thegreenplant.az for information on restocks. Also, thegreenplantaz.com, where you can sign up for email alerts when we do restocks, etc. But there's gonna be lots of fun things coming in 2023 and a lot of just doing things that I love. So that's my goal for 2023, is to pour more into the things that fill my cup, provide me joy. And I hope that you all do the same. And I'm wishing you all of the growth, all of the flat mite deaths, and all of the prosperity in 2023. Happy New Year.